In honor of Black History Month, KYW Newsradio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. Racquel Caesar is the founder of Sisterhood in Success, a local nonprofit dedicated to creating a safe and empowering space for Black women, supporting them in their personal and professional journeys.
It came out of my desire to want to work in an environment that really acknowledged Black women. And I've always felt like that was a need.
Sisterhood in Success understands the unique challenges that Black women face in the workplace, from microaggressions and misogyny to outright discrimination. She says women facing these issues tend to hide or just try to blend in.
I really want them to be able to use their voice and not just settle or suffer day by day for the sake of this job.
Having suffered through workplace trauma herself, Caesar felt isolated but discovered other women were having the same experiences. Her program, Employee to Entrepreneur, shows women another alternative.
If you feel like you can't obtain it from another space, maybe that's a sign for you to do it yourself. Oftentimes the women will walk away saying, okay, I'm going to go out and start doing my cookies or what have you. So I really feel like they walk away feeling stronger.
Caesar's Sister Match Mentorship Initiative pairs Black women with experienced mentors who provide guidance and support so women feel empowered to advocate for themselves.
We're the fastest growing demographic in the workplace. I think we have to stand firm on our values, and I think we have to force them to see us.
Racquel Caesar, changing the game by empowering Black women in the workplace.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to kywnewsradio.com/gamechangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW Newsradio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. Leslie Heiner founded Work to Ride in 1994. It's a nonprofit community-based prevention program that helps under-resourced urban youth through constructive activities centered on horsemanship, equine sports, and education. She's always loved horses, and when it came time for a career change, she put that love and her degree in psychology to good use.
I was, aware of the Black cowboy culture here in Philadelphia. And, I used to have a kid that used to hang around with me all the time. So I was like, okay, this might be something.
Heiner knew that exposing Philly youth to equine sports could help them stay on track to achieve their goals.
I spent hours and hours at the barn with the horse. I think it probably kept me out of trouble. So I thought, well, why wouldn't that, work with kids?
The program has grown in success over the years, with many excelling in equine sports. In fact, a Work to Ride alum became the first Black woman to compete in the U.S. Open Women's Polo Championships last year.
And I feel really fortunate that I found this calling. I want kids to, be able to find that passion too. And even if they don't stick with it for a lifetime.
In addition to horsemanship and life skills, Work to Ride emphasizes academic achievement and provides after-school tutoring to help students maintain good grades.
We are there for the life of the child. We really want to keep them until they graduate high school. And we become a family.
Leslie Heiner, changing the game by exposing youth to equine sports.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to kywnewsradio.com/gamechangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW Newsradio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. Pediatrician Dr. Elena McDonald and family medicine physician Dr. Delana Wardlaw were two little twin girls from the Strawberry Mansion section of Philly who grew up to give back to their community by forming the Twin Sister Docs Foundation, which seeks to increase awareness of healthcare disparities in minority and vulnerable communities.
People would frequently come up to us and say, "Can I ask you a question? Because I don't feel comfortable talking to my doctor." So we would always say, well, that's a problem.
Over time, they realized they were providing a great service to their patients, but they wanted to extend that information outside of their practices, understanding that representation matters, as African American women make up just 2% of physicians in America.
Studies have shown that when African Americans have an African American physician in their community, they have longer life expectancies.
The sisters were motivated to become physicians by their teachers and their grandmother, who passed away from breast cancer at the age of 53. According to Wardlaw,
that was my drive driving force to become a physician. At that time, I had no idea about healthcare inequities. I had no idea about lack of access to care, but I knew that grandma died at a young age, and I wanted to be able to help people live longer lives.
Through their foundation, the Twin Sister Docs work with healthcare institutions, community organizations, and government officials to increase awareness. They were also instrumental in educating the community during the initial COVID-19 outbreak.
We are proud to practice in our communities, help the communities that helped us.
Twin Sister Docs, changing the game by caring for their community with compassion.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to KYWNewsradio.com/GameChangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW News Radio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. The Hope Foundation, or Hospitality on Purpose Every Day, is a Camden, New Jersey-based nonprofit founded by three brothers inspired by the passing of their mother, Hope Naomi Brown. Preston Brown serves as the executive director.
My mother never made more than $10 an hour, but she was the person that people went to. All the work that we've done with youth is what we experience as a family.
Brown is especially dedicated to seeing the youth he works with thrive in sports. Having coached college football at Temple, the University of Maryland, and Delaware State, Brown now supports high school athletes with recruitment and doesn't take his mentorship of underserved kids lightly.
I had a young brother who was murdered at 20. My sister, she had a baby as a teenager. My mother struggled with drug addiction throughout her life. We're very intentional about meeting the demands of the communities who are dealing with these same issues.
Brown says all kids deserve a chance to excel, although he was given a dark forecast by a teacher when he was younger.
My sixth grade teacher told me that I'd be dead or in jail before I was 18. I was 11 years old at that time.
Through Hope, Brown now helps to champion the growth and well-being of youth and young adults, especially those who are adjudicated or at risk, by guiding them.
We recently won 2 grants with Camden County Youth Juvenile Justice Commission, awarding up to $240,000 to provide mentorship for court-involved youth.
Preston Brown, changing the game by investing in our youth.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to KYWNewsradio.com/GameChangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW News Radio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. Collie Turner's love and pride for her grandfather's military service and her love of gardening led her to found Heroic Gardens. The Elkin Parks-based nonprofit mental health organization introduces veterans to horticulture as a form of personal healing.
I was very close to my grandfather, and he served in World War II. And when he came back, he built a huge vegetable garden for his family.
Turner spent hours in that garden and later realized that besides practicing sustainability, her grandfather was healing himself from his wounds of war. The mission of Heroic Gardens is to help veterans and their families experience the healing power of plants and nature.
We introduce plants and plant-based activities and help them gauge how they're feeling, because it is scientifically proven that working with plants can help reduce symptoms of anxiety, stress, PTSD.
Many veterans that have tilled the soils with Heroic Gardens say it saved them from feelings of isolation and despair.
Come to us. Let's talk about plants, but let's help you peel back who you are and recognize you're in a safe place.
Each month, they offer over 20 classes across the Philadelphia region for veterans and caregivers to work with plants. She says at Heroic Gardens, all veterans are welcome to heal.
No matter their background, their gender, their race, they served our country.
Collie Turner, changing the game for the mental health of veterans.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to KYWNewsradio.com/GameChangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW News Radio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. They say one man's trash is another man's treasure, and for Philly's own Terrell Hagler, a.k.a. your fave trash man, ridding the city's neighborhoods of trash and illegal dumping is a treasure indeed. He says clean streets mean less crime.
Clutter creates chaos, which creates anxiety. And in anxiety, you make bad choices because you're not thinking straight.
A former sanitation worker, Hager has been a clean streets advocate since 2020. One of his dreams was to get his own trash truck. He applied for a Keystone Communities grant and was excited to receive word last September.
The money's still here if you want it. Do you want it? And my response was, is the elephant heavy? Yes, I want it. So I received the grant, which allowed me to buy 2 trash trucks.
His litter task force employs formerly incarcerated individuals to help haul trash around town.
When we see something, we pick it up. So there were some mattresses and frozen drywall just sitting on 11th and Cumberland. We pulled up, took it.
Hagler says living with dumped trash and litter should not be normalized in the city, and he responds quickly when he gets a call.
I think, like, if my grandmother walks down this block and slips on a piece of trash, I would be devastated.
And he says if he gets enough sponsor support, the goal is to pick up 500 tons of trash this year.
Philly deserves it. Philly deserves to be clean.
Terrell Hagler, changing the game by cleaning Philly streets one neighborhood at a time.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to KYWNewsradio.com/GameChangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW News Radio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. Giving people with autism a voice and an opportunity to become independent is Eva Blackwell's passion. In 2009, she founded the Verge of Independence Project to support young adults on the autism spectrum through multimedia advocacy and using her 20-plus years of experience in the media.
Some young adults prefer to write. Some like to vlog. All of those things I'm able to support them with.
Blackwell is familiar with the needs of the autism community, as her 35-year-old son, Branford, was diagnosed when he was 7.
He is very verbal and has always been, able to advocate for himself. I saw with some of his classmates that if they're not able to express themselves, they do get frustrated.
VIP facilitates workshops both in person and virtually and collaborates with other organizations to educate and train the autism community addressing real-world issues.
When you see that light go off, that for the individual means that's another level of independence.
While teaching at Community College of Philadelphia, she mentored a young woman on the autism spectrum who went on to become an award-winning writer. Blackwell says she never thought about the lives that she was touching.
I'm learning something from them. It's important that we treat each other as humans and respect and appreciate what those differences are.
Eva Blackwell, changing the game by helping the autism community thrive.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to KYWNewsradio.com/GameChangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW News Radio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. Building skills, good sportsmanship, and character development, all while having fun and staying out of trouble. That's what NFL Flag Philly offers city youth starting at the age of 7. Dante Prevet is Director of Community Engagement at the Philadelphia Youth Sports Collaborative. He started NFL Flag Philly in 2018.
King Session was expanding and growing, and we wanted to try to reach more kids and serve our community in a different way.
Prevet has been involved in youth sports for 16 years.
I never thought I would spend 16 years doing it when I first started, but I really felt like a deep sense of contribution and responsibility to my community.
As a child growing up on 46th and Girard, Prevet was always involved in free play sports, but never had the opportunity to be part of a team until he was in middle and high school. He says getting kids involved in sports early can be transformative.
As long as it's fun and the friends are there and they have access to it, they have a chance to really change the trajectory of the relationships that they build with each other and the bonds that they make and the skills that they need across their entire life.
During football season, Philly bleeds green, proving Prevet's point that sports is a great way of bringing people together for something constructive. He says he's happy to spend time with the kids, but he never looked for acknowledgement.
For a coach, you don't expect the recognition or the acknowledgement for what you do. You're really doing it just to try to make sure you're giving kids something positive to do.
Dante Prevet, changing the game by creating future game changers on and off the field.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to KYWNewsradio.com/GameChangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW News Radio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. Philadelphia-based national nonprofit OIC of America helps transform the lives of people in forgotten places, from the underserved and formerly incarcerated to those working in low-wage jobs who want a brighter future. OIC provides them with an opportunity to enter the middle class through job training with no out-of-pocket costs. It was founded by Lewis King, a 60s kid who grew up in the projects, but when he started college and began to travel, a light went off.
When I got to Minnesota, I discovered how the wealthy live and that there were people who were interested in helping African Americans gain access to the middle class.
OIC partners with 41 organizations across the country. Their Sullivan Training Network is known as the People's Pathway Out of Poverty and into New Careers.
We're in Black History Month. How did the black middle class grow? Well, a lot of poor people got out there and protested. True power lies in working together.
OIC's STEM Links program offers youth work experiences and engagement with STEM professionals to get the skills needed to succeed in their future STEM careers.
We can't forget the children. We have to see them as workers of the future, and that's what we do with our STEM programming as well. I see my students who came to me with nothing riding by with cars and kids, and that's the most gratifying thing, to see them raising families.
Lewis King, changing the game by building a better economy for all.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to kywnewsradio.com/gamechangers. In honor of Black History Month, KYW News Radio highlights our 2025 Game Changers, making a difference in communities of color. Sponsored by Hatfield. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
I'm KYW Community Impact Reporter Racquel Williams. Alyssa Ryan is a lifelong Philadelphia resident who's been teaching at the Mastery Charter Lenfest School for 14 years as a special ed teacher and case manager. She felt her students with intellectual disabilities and autism needed help with transitioning to what comes next, and she developed the Transition program.
Developing vocational and independent living skills to prepare them for that next step into adulthood or independence.
Ryan says the biggest misconception about those that are differently abled is that they can't do things independently.
I think we often, as a society, really overhelp and over-accommodate, and then we do those individuals a disservice because they're not able to really show what they really can do.
Ryan helps lead the student coffee shop called Brew Crew, where they focus on workplace skills. She has a sense of pride when she sees their progression.
I think them feeling confident makes me feel good, knowing that they can be successful, and I want these students to have a fulfilling life.
Ryan's passionate about her work and her students, noting that individuals with disabilities, and especially those of color, are the highest percentage of unemployed adults. She hopes that through this program, she can do her part in making a positive change so her students can have the best outcomes.
I love them. They are like a part of my family. They truly do become like my kids in a way.
Alyssa Ryan, changing the game by unlocking skills and talents in her students.
To learn more about all our Game Changers honorees, go to kywnewsradio.com/gamechangers.